thought I had a script.
Really? Do you need? Welcome to Diva Court. We're not canceled. Yes, and here I am, my co-diva.
Excuse me. That's your lane Christmas. Don't come over here to Thanksgiving and Halloween. Okay.
You should know this by heart by now.
I'm gonna need Christmas to stay in this lane, okay? Thank you. Take it from the top. Welcome to another episode of Diva Court. I'm your host, Marcia Mignot, and with me is my co-diva.
It's Dana. You seem like you're in a good mood today.
I am in a very good mood. Tire Slashing Smith, that is.
That's my name. Don't worry.
We are not responsible for the things she's going to say.
That's probably true.
And we don't own the rights to anything we're going to talk about.
Or do we care about your feelings?
And we're not going to buy those rights either. We're just talking, okay? Now, anytime you want legal advice, please contact your local attorney in your local jurisdiction. Nothing we say on this show shall be deemed to be legal advice regarding any topic.
But if you want street justice, just hit me up in the comment section.
Yeah, comment on her, because this show is for edutainment purposes
only.
Please look for our videos each week on Wednesday. We push them out. Find us on Spotify. Apple Podcasts. And Google Podcasts. Don't forget to catch us on YouTube if you want to see all the diva looks that we're pushing out season 2.
Yes.
Now, last episode, because it's a weapon and an episode.
Are you having a dyslexic moment?
No, a dyslexic if we go by you. We discussed the topic of, does a treating physician, when a woman is expecting a baby, use the word fetus? Right. The diva and I had a dispute about it, and we decided, listeners, that we promised we would clarify that with a treating physician. So on the phone with us is a caller, Dr. H, who is going to clarify whether or not a treating physician, OBGYN, ever uses the word fetus to refer to a woman's pregnancy.
And before we go there, to just set the tone, since you're trying to speak in matter of fact, what we need to
Diva don't like facts.
Not in evidence. What we need to ask the doctor, that if a mother who wants the child, who is looking forward to this child coming, when he speaks to her and they're going through the appointments, is he saying fetus, or does he refer to like the baby or like the little, whatever word of endearment that he may use?
Right. So, Dr. H, caller, are you there?
I'm on the line.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. H, for joining Diva Court to clarify this question for us. Do you understand the dispute that we're having, Dr. H?
I think I do.
Wonderful.
And the answer to your question is the baby is commonly referred to as a fetus. However, for people that may not understand that term, we may use the word baby instead of fetus. But fetus is commonly used.
Wonderful.
So to clarify, so when the woman is 24 weeks pregnant, you're still referring to the pregnancy as a fetus?
Correct.
I've never had that experience. I have 4 kids and no one has ever
Well,
said
your OBGYN needs to put their license back and get rid of it.
And it's not because she's not educated to know.
We want to thank you, Dr. H. You have clarified that dispute for Diva Court. Thank you for being on, Dr. H.
We appreciate it.
You're welcome. You all have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.
He sounds very matter of fact.
Oh, Dr. H is about medicine, not about politics, politics, or foolery. buffoonery, a sham, a mockery, a shamockery.
How is his bedside manner?
Excellent. As matter of fact as it is.
Apparently, what he's telling you is you
Very
didn't
cold.
understand what fetus meant.
Very cold.
So they always had to tell you what.
listen,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. He says when a woman
Listen.
comes in and she don't know what
Ah,
fetus
listen,
means,
if he-
we say to her, the baby.
No.
That means your
No.
educational
No,
level
that has
and your
nothing-
IQ
that's-
is low.
That's not
Whoa,
what
whoa,
it
whoa.
means. That's not what it
We
means.
won't address
That's
where
not
it
what it
is
means.
on the spectrum.
I
Oh,
knew-
okay.
It's just
Okay.
in
I knew what a
question.
Yeah,
fetus.
it's in question then.
I-
The
no.
producer says I need to correct it.
No.
Hold on, let me correct it for the
No.
listeners.
Nah, it
Let
don't
me
need to be
correct
corrected.
it.
It don't need to be
Your
corrected.
IQ is in question.
Everybody knows what a fetus is. I
Ooh,
don't need
stop,
a doctor
stop.
to tell me what a fetus
Stop.
is. That's in
Wait.
everybody's science
That
books.
is not what you said last episode.
What I said
You
last
said-
episode is a doctor with probably good bedside manner would not call a baby at 24 weeks a fetus. Okay,
I am
don't know
unhappy.
no doctor. I don't know no doctor. I don't know.
You only know
maybe
one
he been
doctor.
practicing. Maybe I said I don't know no doctor. Maybe he been practicing medicine for a long time. You know, he does stuff off the books, but. You know,
Ma'am?
the baby, the
Ma'am.
OBGYNs I have been to.
The
and it's been more than one.
OBGYN.
It's
That's
been more than
why.
one.
That's
They got-
why.
His doctor's office seemed like it's like gray. It's like gray and dark.
You saw an
Instead of rainbows, it's
OBGYN.
like rain clouds.
Okay.
It's
That's
like,
your
oh
problem.
my God.
I'm gonna need you ladies not
I
to
need
go to
you
her
to-
OBGYN.
OBGYN. And you stuck on that. I'm just saying, he just sounds
That's
very
why
sterile.
she had been told baby.
He sounds
they're
like he
concerned.
sound like his doctor's office
They're
is very
concerned
clean.
that
sterile.
The-
Go to a dirty doctor.
they've been concerned. They
I feel like
are
I can eat off the floor.
concerned.
He's just real mad. He's just real.
Look,
We keep it clean here.
They are concerned.
We keep it
They
clean.
are concerned. You understand? They are concerned.
But shout out to Dr. H for getting on the
Dr. H, we just want to thank you again
calling my doctor next
for
time.
clarifying the OBGYN.
I had 4 different doctors, and
That-
ain't none of them said fetus.
because they felt like it was going to hurt your feelings.
Why would it hurt my feelings?
Because they could tell from your attitude
No.
that you had a problem.
they don't usually call babies.
She walked in the
fetuses.
door and said, "You better not call my baby a fetus."
Listen, I remember going into one doctor's office, and when I walked in, it's my first appointment. I just saw like on Coming to America, just stains of like hair grease on the wall. I was like, oh hell no, she gotta go. I turned around and just walked out.
Where
like,
are you
not about
finding
to-
these OBGYNs?
like I said, I didn't stay.
Smart
Like,
girl, smart.
I said, if they can't keep these walls clean, I don't want them up in my walls. You know what I'm talking about?
Smart. That is smart. Smart thing to do is to leave. But I'm glad we were able
I'm
to
calling my doctor
clarify.
next time. Dr.
Do you wanna-
Tope?
Hey.
Do you be calling?
Can we?
Dr.
can we-
Toupee.
Dr. Toupee. Yeah, Toupee.
She's a strong
Oh.
black African woman.
So let me ask
she
you a
been
question.
delivering babies. They born to deliver babies.
Excuse me.
You know
Don't
what I'm
drink
talking
with the gavel. Drink with the drink. We need to drink.
about? Y'all out of order.
We need to drink to that. Fetus.
Lies. We leave
I'm
your
so
comment in the
glad
comment. Why don't we?
You didn't pay $100 again.
Hey, she would have lost that
thankful.
money. You'd have lost that money. That's the only thing I
That's
didn't
why I
do.
can't. Y'all be talking to these people prior to them getting
That's
on the
the
phone.
only thing.
Y'all, that's
I
what it
didn't
is.
do.
Y'all say, you know, Dana's gonna do the. And y'all be setting me up for
Let
the
me
okie
tell
doke.
you
I need to
something.
bring in my own resources. In what court of law is there
You're not
only
gonna sit.
one witness?
Oh, so you're not gonna sit?
In
She's
what-
not. She must not
in
be.
the Diva court. There's not gonna be one witness in the Diva court. You're out of order. You're out of order. This whole room is out of order. Let me take my drink.
You
Ooh,
sound.
look, it's sitting up.
Look, you sound
see
like
how-
you already.
look, no.
No, you sound like you already had a
Look,
drink.
it's sitting up. You see that?
You sound like you already had a drink. How many did you have? You're supposed to take sips, not gulps.
Swigging around.
But listeners, we clarified, and of course, this diva was accurate
I
once
still-
again. The only
One-
thing I didn't do is make sure I got money from this chick right here.
One doctor don't ruin no show.
He doesn't, because he helped clarify the show. All right. And speaking of clarifying, let's talk about clarifying the political commercials that's creating havoc in this country. Lying in a political commercial should cause a candidate to be disqualified. That's my position.
If you're not lying,
What's
you
yours?
ain't trying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you're
No, but if you're lying, some people could be dying.
well, then the whole Democratic Party should just go to not be
To
political.
lying? To start to
They
lying?
always lie. When have they done anything for the blacks?
They need to. No. You changing
Oh,
the
we got
topic.
June 16th.
No,
I forgot.
you changing the
You
topics.
don't even remember the name. Oh my God.
She said June 16th.
Ain't that when it happened? Is it the 19th? I don't even remember. Because they didn't do a good job of reminding me.
this diva.
That's just so ghetto.
No, she's
Juneteenth.
fired.
That
Can
is
she
so
get,
ghetto.
Can this diva get your fired? Because you're fired.
I didn't load it because I just didn't
it
expect her
happen
to
on
want
June
to lose
16th?
her job.
Ma'am.
I know it's Juneteenth now that you are. Now that you guys remind me.
But it's the 16th for you.
Is it the 16th or is it the 19th? Or they didn't remember, so they just called it the Juneteenth.
Oh my word!
I gotta
What-
watch that Blackish
you know what?
episode again.
You
That's when I first realized it was a whole holiday. I didn't know nothing about that.
You're not.
The
You're not.
19th.
You know what? For somebody who wants to
been
snatch
drinking.
black cards,
I've been drinking. I've been drinking. It's a Texas thing. It's not a nationwide
ma'am,
thing.
I'm gonna need you to give
Literally now a nationwide thing.
It is now, but that was a Texas thing. They weren't teaching that in
Back.
Michigan.
No, but let me ask you a
Did they
question.
teach that in Jamaica?
All those black
Did they
cards you
teach that
snatched,
in Georgia?
can you take it back? I'm gonna need you to take them
I'm
black cards back.
Listen, they didn't teach us They didn't teach us that in Michigan.
You need to take your black cards that you snatched back. And
You know,
go
we didn't
distribute them.
have slavery in Michigan. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna need you to.
We just had a lot of discrimination. Little, I don't even know. Did we have Jim Crow? I don't know if we had Jim Crow.
You had it all, man.
You just didn't name it Jim Crow.
yeah. You didn't
Yeah.
have a name for
Called
it.
it the
low-key.
GM plant.
Except the slavery.
So take the black cards back that you snatched.
No, I'm keeping them all.
You got to go take them back. You got to redeliver those because you're wrong.
Did they teach about Juneteenth in Georgia?
No, but let me tell you
Are
something.
you
Whether-
specifically trying to talk about Georgia history, or are you talking about Juneteenth in general? In
I
history?
put on everything I love. They did not teach that in Michigan.
Okay.
Like I learned.
So
it
do
on
you
a
know that
Blackish episode.
that might have been considered critical race theory, and that's why you couldn't talk about it? Did you think about that?
I mean, we talked about Martin Luther King.
Yeah, but that's the only one you get to talk about.
We talked about Malcolm
according
X a little
to
bit.
the
Just a
new,
smidgen.
the
you know,
new.
it was like Martin Luther King. Malcolm X.
That's why we don't want to teach it because see, you grew up black, and you didn't know anything about Juneteenth.
I did
and the
grow up
reason is
black.
because history didn't include black
I
history.
grew up real black.
Okay, black history is Martin Luther King. That's it.
That is true.
Period.
Oh, and Rosa Parks, because she's from Detroit.
Rosa Parks.
Well, she's not
and
from
Martin Luther
Detroit, but
King.
she lived in Detroit.
It don't matter where she's from. They pick what they want to teach about.
Yeah.
They teach about those things, and then we're ignorant to the rest.
It's true.
That's a problem.
It's
And
definitely
then
true.
our parents are not making sure we learn about these things at home. They're
I
so
don't even think
focused
they
on
knew
something
about
else.
Juneteenth.
Probably not.
don't
Probably
think they
not.
knew.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I think the politicians have to stop lying in commercials. I think you should be disqualified if you lie in a commercial.
Do we get Juneteenth off? It's
Are
a
you-
federal holiday, right?
It's a federal
So we should get it off.
holiday. Ma'am.
I just. Are you talking about Diva Court should get it off, or you specifically working should get it off?
the job.
I'm just
get it off.
We need some
trying to
clarification.
figure it out.
The courts are closed.
So
right?
you waited until
The courts are closed, right? Do we wait?
You
June
waited-
19th is coming.
you waited to episode 3, season 2 to try to learn about Juneteenth?
No, I learned about it on Blackish maybe about a year ago.
You're gonna have to go rewatch that episode, ma'am, because I don't think you retained any of it.
No, but what I'm saying is like, do you get it off though? Like now that it's a federal.
Okay. So what do we do with federal holidays?
I was just saying, like they might have gave us a little race, a little discriminatoriness on that.
It's not a bank
federal
holiday.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not what?
It's not a bank holiday.
It's not a
a
bank
federal
holiday.
It's federal holiday.
So that means the banks will be closed.
It's a federal holiday.
That's right.
Okay.
So all federal agencies will be closed. State agencies.
So when you say bank holiday, are you referring to what?
no, bank holidays are just bank
Columbus Day.
holidays.
Columbus Day.
Okay. So the schools will be closed.
Oh my God. Moving on.
Hopefully, because it's
Wait,
summer.
schools are out. You see how
No,
they
no.
did
Let me
that?
tell you something.
You
Let me
see
tell you
how they
something.
did that?
School,
is out.
school need to stay open.
It need to be year round. It needs to be
All right,
year
y'all. I
round.
do
In
gotta admit
Detroit-
that was I had a
in
little,
Detroit,
I had a
it
little
need to
moment
be
there.
year round.
School got to be year round from.
At least in Detroit.
Hey,
I just-
in
it has
Detroit,
to be
listen,
year
in
round.
Detroit, we're gonna need
No,
school
no.
to be year round.
School goes till June in Detroit.
Well, look, he needs to go to
It starts
December
in September.
and pick right back up in
It
January.
starts in September. It ends in June. I'm just saying. It starts in September. It
You
ends in June.
need to go to December and pick up. in January.
Stop acting like we ever had a day off just yet. This
Look
will be
here.
the first year if there's
Let
a
me
day
tell you
off.
something.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Mr.
Columbus,
President.
Mrs. Columbus.
No, Mr. President.
Oh, she wants to thank Biden. All right,
Yeah,
well,
that's what she did.
thank you,
Drink to
Mr.
that,
Biden.
drink to that.
You want to drink to Mr. Biden?
And all the blacks getting off.
Yes,
Just the
drink to
blacks.
Biden. Drink to Biden. We'll take it. We'll
I'm not-
take anything.
No, we'll share. We'll share.
We'll share.
We're sharing people. We're a community.
We're
Sharing
a community.
is caring.
You know, black people always teach people how to be community-like. You know,
Amen
it's a
to
thing
that.
we do.
Amen to that. It's a great trait that we have. We need to continue to spread it across this country and across the globe. But lying in your political commercial, like I was trying to say before my diva decided to vote for year-round school in Detroit.
That's a very
It
big
should
jump.
be. It should be that you are disqualified as a candidate. I've seen commercials in Georgia where Governor Purdue, former Senator Purdue, who is running for governor
And
in
didn't
the
show
state of
up
Georgia.
to his last.
He don't need to show up,
He
period.
ain't show up. That's what he needs
But
to
my
do.
point is this. He has commercials talking about stolen election and all that stuff, knowing he knows it's a lie. Because he was a senator long enough to know what is true and what is false. But he pushes out these commercials. And we have to be careful, not just, wanting to win so badly that we'll say anything because we want to rile up a particular group.
So Stacey Abrams said that she wanted illegals to have the opportunity to vote just like, regular American citizens.
I don't believe that because I know Stacey Abrams,
Can we get a fact check?
being an attorney, is not stupid. And that would be foolish.
Well, that would be,
you understand?
That would be one of those political lies.
No. That would be foolish if she would say that because she would know as an attorney that that is unlawful. It is unlawful because the federal laws currently in place does not permit an illegal immigrant to vote. In fact, it is a crime if somebody doesn't know what unlawful means. And you can be arrested. And I have had situations before where potential clients of mine have been contacted because they have voted. And in checking the voter registration and checking their legal status, the voting registry and registration office found out that these individuals were not citizens and sent them a sanction and a citation and said, show up for court because we're coming for you. So they are vetting it, they are checking it, and they know it's illegal. So to have the allegation that Stacey Abrams, an attorney who's supposed to be a good one, who's supposed to be knowledgeable on the law, because, hey, she put fair fact together. If she turned the state blue, she knows that that would be unlawful for her to say during one of her campaigns that, I would think it should be.
So if she said that, how would you
I would
feel?
be appalled. I would be shocked.
Would you vote for her?
I would still vote for her because guess what? When I consider my alternative, the problem you have when you're voting is that you have limited options. This is not like choosing what store you're going to shop at, where you could say, I'm never going to go back to
So what
Macy's.
does-
And that's
Kim-
done for a reason, because if you had multiple options, if you were Baskin Robbins, you wouldn't walk out the store with any flavor.
Never, because there's too many.
So although it's vanilla and chocolate, and you don't really like
So-
chocolate, and you don't really think vanilla
So-
packs enough flavor,
You have to
What,
pick.
still have
what
to
has
choose.
Kemp done in this time frame that he's been in office that has appalled you?
All right.
Because I can name a couple of things that you would probably like.
Let me just step in. That statement was rated as mostly false by political.
Mostly false, so not
Yeah.
all the way.
So as in because it takes It takes nuance.
See,
the nuance
she's
is
disqualified from running under my candidate rules because she likes mostly false.
False.
It's in the minutia. She's saying that non-citizens should have a say in some things that are going around.
Right, but there's a difference between non-citizens and illegal immigrants, people. So let me clear that up. I'm glad the producer did some fact checking.
Undocumented.
Correct. But if she's saying, here's the problem. The law, what she was speaking about is the law regarding permanent residence.
No,
permanent
she's not.
residence. Okay, let me clarify it for you. Let me tell you what the law says.
That's not what she's talking about. She's
No.
talking about undocumented workers, not permanent residents.
No. Permanent residents are not permitted to vote in this country. And if she was arguing that as long as you're a permanent resident, a tax-paying individual, you're allowed to live in the United States because you migrated here lawfully and we changed your status to that of a permanent resident, her argument was that as a permanent resident, you should be permitted to vote. What people are doing with that statement is saying Stacey Abrams said that illegal immigrants should be permitted to vote. That's false. And that's what I'm saying is when a candidate takes a statement like that about permanent residents or lawful residents and try to turn it into Stacey Abrams says that illegal immigrants should be permitted to vote in violation of the federal law, that the Constitution that she swore as an attorney she was going to uphold.
So you're going to deflect from my question.
No, my question is, and you're trying to deflect. I'm saying to you is,
I am trying to deflect.
No, if she said she thinks illegal immigrants should be eligible to vote, I disagree with that. You understand? I disagree with that. But I'm not a one-hit wonder. I can separate that foolish comment, whether she did it for political reasons or not, you understand what I'm saying, from the other issues that she's going to have to decide and to rule on as governor of my state.
Okay, so let's just go down a couple of things that Kemp has like.
No,
we're
no. What you're not going to do is pivot to Kemp and the things you like about him. What you're going to do is clarify.
But you said no because you.
No, we're on Stacey right now. You said that. Compared to the other one, as if he did something that you didn't like. And he hasn't done it. He did a lot I didn't like. First of all, he was Secretary of State controlling votes.
I'm talking about why he was in office.
Hold up, sister. Let me talk about if you got to office fraudulently, I'm not going to cut off your fraud.
So you're saying there is fraud in the election?
No. Which election are you talking about? Because I like to clarify for my voters.
Okay.
Let's talk about the gubernatorial election of the state of Georgia. Because my listeners not going to be confused, unlike the listeners of other shows. I'm not going to call no names. My listeners are going to be clear and crystal clear as to what Diva Court is saying. The gubernatorial race in the state of Georgia between Stacey Abrams and Kemp, current Governor Kemp, prior to him winning to become Governor Kemp, was a fraudulent race. And here is why and what I mean by fraudulent. He was permitted to remain Secretary of State in control of elections, voting, polls, all the stuff associated with a race that he was running for. You understand? And because of that, he was able to delete voters that he thought were not going to vote for him from the voter registration list.
Do we have facts on this? Like, why we don't never say, let's check her facts? Why we don't never say that? Why we only checking my facts?
That's factual. He did in fact.
Oh, because you say it.
He did in fact delete.
So hold on. No, you asked me to clarify.
Excuse me, ma'am.
No, he got rid of people who haven't voted.
There's a microphone
in years
in front of your mouth.
He got rid of people who haven't voted in years.
Listen to me. He got rid of regular voters, and
people who died and were still on the voters.
Okay, listen to me. He got rid of voters who were still alive and could vote. And the thing about it is, had he not still been able to control the voter registry, it would look a lot more ethical.
But it was according to the laws that are in effect in the state of Georgia.
Listen to me.
If you haven't voted in X amount of years, you were able to be removed from the voter roll.
That's the point.
Yeah, but it was a position that it wasn't a mandatory. It's that the Secretary of State can and is allowed to do that. Right. It's not that in 4 years he's got to delete it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
So that's my problem, is that when you not just have the appearance of impropriety, but it looks like impropriety, it talks like impropriety, it quacks like impropriety, it's probably impropriety. So that's where I have my problem. If he wants to keep if he wants to keep confidence in the judicial system and to make people think that it's fair and to keep people from falling for these, it's rigged and it's fake and it's stolen and it's false.
If it wasn't for Kemp, Trump would have won Georgia. Because he didn't fall for that nonsense. And we got 2 senators.
Are you serious? You serious? Hold up a second.
Right.
Are you saying because Governor Kemp didn't commit a crime, Trump would have won Georgia?
Because Governor Kemp.
So he gets kudos?
No, I'm just saying, if he was so fraudulent, like I'm just going to be changing stuff and be so fraudulent, he could have stick with his people.
He knows better than that because he knows we had the evidence that could put him in prison. If there was any vagueness, if he had the discretion, trust me, he would have. He did not have the discretion to steal the votes from the voters in Georgia. And because Stacey Abrams went to work on the ground, she was able to get voters out in a manner that they couldn't stop it. So that train came rolling down the track.
So he don't get credit for standing his ground and not allowing such a strong candidate, plus all the Georgia voters that are in Georgia that voted for Trump, which was a lot of them, to not push him around. So he don't get credit for that.
Kemp is not getting any credit because he shouldn't be in that seat had he not stolen the seat.
If you say.
So if you steal the seat, I can't hear you.
It's only stealing when it benefits you.
No, it's stealing if you are engaging in conduct that affects the outcome.
So Hillary, it was stolen. Trump, it was.
What you're missing.
What I know, I get what y'all saying.
No. We didn't say Hillary was stolen. No, we don't want to say that. Nobody said Hillary was stolen. Hillary lost that election. Why she lost the election is a whole different ball game. That was because Comey engaged in conduct that the federal rules say he was not supposed to engage in. Shut up.
People who go vote for Hillary is going to vote for her regardless.
No. There are people on the fence that flipped. Remember now.
Not only flipped, but sat out.
That too. Said, I'm not going. And I'm not going. And that's why we're encouraging people to understand no vote is a vote. Your failure to vote is a vote. Your failure to stop something is you encouraging.
Why they just couldn't not like her?
You don't have to like the person. Fine. You understand? You don't have to like the person.
Just understand that.
Just understand that whoever wins, you're gonna deal with that.
It's like that's you. You chose that.
You're gonna deal with that.
And
if you're good, but if you're good with your indecisiveness, having an outcome that you may have to live with, then wear it. Wear it. But don't come out here trying to act like, I didn't vote for anybody, so it's not my fault.
Now, I'm not saying it's not my fault. I'm just saying it's the political parties.
We know it's your fault.
It's the political parties who bring out trash candidates. If you bring out a trash candidate, I'm not wasting my time on you.
There are people who are good, qualified individuals that don't want to run because they don't want to be chastised and people telling lies on them. If we clean up the rules, then people who are educated, smart, intelligent, and can actually do the job will be more likely to step up. But they're not protected. They're not protected by any of the rules right now. When you can get and put a commercial on television and say whatever it is you want. And what's crazy is our judicial races in Georgia don't allow you to do that. If you're running for judge, right, the judicial council will come for you if you put out an ad that is false or appears to be false. They have rules. They'll disqualify you. And you cannot take that seat as judge. They don't care what the voters say. So why, if you have the rules in certain places, are you not willing to put it everywhere? And let me tell you something. It has consequences. And let me tell you why. Buffalo shooting. Let's pivot to that, right? The political rhetoric and the lies being told to these people on television, on YouTube, and I'm not talking about just politicians now. This pivots from lying in political commercials to not clearing and fact-checking stuff in the media. The media holds a piece of the responsibility. Anybody who has a platform holds a piece of the responsibility and should be careful about what they say. And that's why here at Diva Court, we too, although we're for edutainment purposes, only want to make sure that what we push out is factually accurate. You understand? And if we're joking about something, we are clarifying for our listeners, this is actually a joke. We don't want anybody taking what we said and running with it and being misinformed. But let's talk about how lying in politics and lying on commercials and lying in the media and misleading people with false statements has consequences. There was a shooting, listeners. This 18-year-old white male goes into a black neighborhood, predominantly black neighborhood, and shoots up the supermarket and kills 10 people. And he admits to being a racist. His own admission, I'm a racist. Where would a young 18-year-old get his racism from?
He get it from his mama.
Well, not just his mother, because he's listening. When you look at his little manifesto and his Facebook post and his social media rants and so forth, you see that some of his rants mimic what some of the networks are putting out in their shows.
But I honestly believe that it starts with the seeds that are planted at home. Like, you wouldn't fall into the lap of these channels if your parents not only are watching them, they are actually agreeing with them, and they're installing that into their children. It starts. That's why I said the person who can stop racism is the mother of the household, who teaches and embeds and nurture these children to be better.
But I think that used to be the case when social media was not there. Parents now are facing a battle. And I'm talking about a battle with the phone, a battle with the internet,
Don't give them a phone.
A battle with the TV. It's a battle
Monitor
everywhere.
what they watch. It's parenting.
But that's easier said than done.
I believe that as a parent, for you, if you had kids during this time, monitoring how much we're watching on TV, TVs go off at this time, everybody turning these phones, maybe at school, it's a little bit more of a free-for-all, but we as parents can shut that down. They're exposed to the stuff that we allow them to be exposed to because we're not taking it away from them.
It's not that easy.
I think you're more confident than you actually assume. You'd be surprised at how much children know or have found out about or are looking at when you think you have control on the
content.
On the content.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have Wi-Fi, you have no internet service.
Okay. Wonderful.
You have no access. Now,
So where are you going? Little House on the Prairie?
Maybe you watching your porn at the school. Maybe.
Where are you going to? Paul, I'm out here in the fields.
Paul, not Paul. Maybe you could turn off the Wi-Fi at a certain time. Like, there are so many things that you could do. You know, the worst thing we had.
What you gonna go home and say
it's
to your
the
husband?
toughest thing because look, you have a few kids. Let's just say you even have 2 kids. You have 2 kids. If you shut off the internet, one is older, needs the internet to do his project in order to do the homework, in order to get that done, in order to get a grade because the teacher wants it turned in online because you don't bring projects into school anymore. And it's just so interconnected that you tried to shut down one. If you shut it down totally, you shut down the ability of your child to do homework.
Correct.
If you shut it down on one and you're like, all right, I'm taking this phone, the other one who says they're doing their project can't also be doing something else at the same exact time.
Right. It's hard.
I don't know. I don't have badass kids.
It's hard. Well, you don't know whether you have badass kids until they get into trouble.
Until they turn into badass kids.
Listen, my mama knew at a
You
young
have a feeling that they ain't
Yeah,
bad.
I think they not carrying on.
My mama knew
I haven't had too much trouble.
A young age, like, oh my gosh, these girls is crazy. She was going into the principal office real early.
I don't think that it's as easy as
that was
it
without
used
the
to be.
internet. She was in the principal's office all the time.
If you think about it, when the television used to sign off at 10
Excuse
o'clock.
me,
At 10 o'clock.
Miss
worry.
Moore. Oh, it's Miss Douglas now. I'm sorry. Miss Douglas, I'm going to need you to come to the principal's office. Goddamn girls.
But you know what?
Act like boys.
She did not have to worry about your cell phones.
No.
Because you probably didn't
And
have
I wasn't
one.
watching porn.
That's it. You couldn't get to it.
Nah.
Because
I don't think I never really was.
no,
like
but the
into
thing
that.
is, you'd have to have a VCR. You'd have to go to a sex store, or it's layers to get to it. Now there's no layers to get to
parental
it.
controls on these telephones.
Trust me, it's coming through. Anyway, it's coming through. I have blocked and blocked and blocked, and I'm like, why does YouTube know how to get past this block? I've blocked apps, and they still coming through. So I'm
still blame the
constantly
parents.
checking.
I always blame
No.
the parents.
Parenting is 80%.
You gotta sit. Thank you. You gotta
80%.
set down the foundation.
But there's a 20% that the parents are fighting with. And let me tell you something. On a good day, when you think about somebody like you, when you work, right? You work on a Saturday. You understand? When your kids are home.
Yeah.
You would say you work a 12-hour shift, if not a 14-hour shift. That's a long shift. You understand? You're at least doing 12 hours. You at least, when you talk about your trip time, by the time you get in the car, you get to work, and you finish the last client, and you're heading back home, you can't say 12 hours have not passed. You understand? So that's 12 long hours.
You don't know what these kids
You have no clue what these jokers are doing.
Man, it could be a mutiny. They could be plotting against you.
Not only
take
that,
you out, Marilyn Manson.
The other parent could be asleep because he's tired from being at home with them, and he had to work. So he had a rough week. Hey, you got the parents who don't have another parent in the house watching them, and they've got the 15-year-old watching the 14-year-old and the 13-year-old. You know, it's like, and you're like, man, why are you not home? She was like, excuse me, the light bill was $200. Are you crazy? Groceries was $500. What would you like me to do? I'm only one person. I can only be in one place at one time. I need them to have the phone on. I need the internet to be there so I can reach them from work if something happens. So I can't snatch all the phones from them, jump in the car, and go to work for 12 hours. Hello?
So, you know what? I guess I was right. It's getting hard out here for these white males because...
Oh, that's a white male you think was a single mother that went to work and had to take the phone.
I'm talking about this story because, you know, they don't know how to handle rejection.
My point is,
they don't know how to handle the fact that they're
lying.
not on top of the
leadership
anymore.
Let me tell you what we need. We need new laws. Let me tell you what the new laws would be. In my perfect world, the new laws would be this. Media has to fact check like they used to. Pre-Ronald Reagan. Okay,
ain't nobody gonna watch that.
No. You got to fact check. You got to.
Ain't
well, that's fine. Then we don't watch it because it makes the world a better place. And now we don't have 10 people who just went grocery shopping on a weekend dead. You understand what I mean? And if I'm gonna trade boring news for 10 live people, I'll trade it. I'll trade it. If I have to turn on the TV and go, oh, that's boring, I'll trade it because I know that 10 family members or 10 different families are not mourning the loss of their family members just to get me entertained for the few minutes I'm going to watch it, especially if they say our attention spans is so much shorter right now.
So what do you think this 18-year-old is getting? You think he watching the news?
I think he's watching a lot. And I think
it's in his, 18-year-old, I think it's in his family. Somebody in his family.
I'm not saying that some of the influence is not coming from conversations with adults in his family. It is. But I think the larger influence is occurring in leadership, because if you trust leadership to lead you and leadership is telling you that you young white male have no future, the foreigners and the people of color are taking over, you're going to be outnumbered, you're an endangered species, and if you hear that from people you trust in positions of leadership, I think it's going to have a little bit more influence on you than even your parent.
Who is saying this stuff?
Okay,
because is it I get it, if he's on YouTube then it'll be different, but I don't see no 18-year-old watching. I don't even see him watching Fox News.
What you have to remember is it's not that you have to sit down in front of the television anymore. When can you find a Fox News clip? I was on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was on Facebook.
It's all over.
And I saw.
It's all over.
Oh, and I was on.
You don't go to it; it comes to you. And now, if something is popular, it's pushing to you even more. Like you're not even interested in it. But when you go on
popular,
there, if it's popular, they're pushing it to you.
Videos a couple times. Facebook is already algorithmic.
It says this is what he likes. This is what he likes. White supremacy. Type in white supremacy and see how many white supremacy videos
my algorithm on your phone. My algorithm on my Facebook is crazy. It's all over the place.
No, let me tell you something.
Like, we can't pin this girl down. She all over the place.
No, but not only that, if you search something on your computer and pick up your phone, all of a sudden, and then go to Facebook, all of a sudden you're getting commercials. If you go on your computer and you search diapers, like you're looking for diapers to buy for a baby shower, I promise you start getting commercials about baby products.
We at the place that if you speak it out loud, it gonna pop up on your phone.
That too?
I've seen that happen.
That's also, they've studied that. Interesting thing is, whether you know it or not, before you speak of it, and you may think it's random, you've been searching for it, whether you know it or not, because you've searched around the thing that you're looking for. So you wanted a smartwatch. You were like, ooh, watches. Okay, it's phone watches. And it starts putting you into
because it's driving you.
And it's like, okay.
It's driving you.
All right, I'm guessing from this. Let me put this up.
No, but even a text, when you're trying to send a text message, it starts trying to anticipate the next word you're trying to say. It's putting things into your head. And even if you weren't going to use that word, if you're not careful, I find myself sometimes going, yeah, that's a better word.
just send the text.
Hey, I just say that. Yeah. But we've got to stop. We've got to stop in order to fix it. And our condolences to the families that's mourning, the 10 people.
That's why we
Diva
all need to be having guns.
Is sympathetic.
He could have got straight lit up.
But next topic we're going to talk about is the attorney.
Everybody start carrying.
Oh yeah, carry your weapons, because what we need for gun violence is more guns. That's the solution.
Because then maybe you wouldn't run up into a place thinking ain't nobody got
what
guns.
What we
in New York,
need,
you can't carry no gun. That's why he can just run up into the place and start shooting people.
Yeah,
up.
what we need to stop rapists is more rapists. You understand?
That's not the same.
Yeah, that's gonna stop it. Come on now, let's get us some more rapists on the street. Yeah, is that what it is?
You get more hoes, you stop raping.
Is that what it is?
Just legalize prostitution.
Yeah, if the rapists are getting raped, so the rapists are now raping.
Oh, the rapists.
Yeah,
rape
yeah.
The rapists.
Yeah.
Rape will stop.
That's correct.
But you won't know them.
So more rapes. It's the same concept.
Or maybe some hoes.
Well, right back the rapist, and that'll stop them. It's crazy, man. Stop all that foolishness. No kudos to Kemp, and I hope Stacey Abrams wipe the floor up with him.
I don't know.
In this purple state, we need it all the way blue, blue,
like
blue. Like this outfit.
On.
Yeah, good transition.
I don't know about voting for her. I don't trust. I don't trust her.
Speaking about not trusting, Attorney General of Kentucky, who we should not have trusted to go to the grand jury regarding Breonna Taylor.
Can we drink to that? And we are definitely not voting for him.
Boom.
Because that would be illegal.
As illegal as the illegals you want to vote in Georgia. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Attorney General of Kentucky is running for governor. Now, do you all know why he did not want to present to the grand jury murder charges? So here comes politics and law, getting married and going to bed with each other.
And having a baby.
And coming out with a dysfunctional baby. Okay? The dysfunctional baby was the grand jurors had to express to us, wait, what murder charge? He didn't put that in front of me. That's sad. And now we know that because
did they put in front of grand
he didn't put murder before the grand jurors.
What did he put before?
He put shooting the neighbors, wall next door, and all kinds of foolishness. Oh yeah, they never got murdered. They never got murdered. They never got anything like that before them. And it was the grand jurors who revealed it, because grand jury processes are secret processes. You're not allowed in. So he thought I was going to do it in secret. Nobody would find out, not realizing that the grand jurors were going to come out.
So they
and
can
share.
go back and do another grand jury.
They could. They could. Because remember, anything not presented is not adjudicated.
Right.
So anybody who says, oh, he's already taken it to the grand jury, he can't go back. Yes, you can. You can go back to the grand jury. You can go back with the things you never presented. You can't go back with the things they've already ruled on, because just like double jeopardy wouldn't allow you to charge somebody after they've been found not guilty of something you charged them with. But if there's anything rising out of the fact circumstance that you didn't charge them with, you can come back and charge them.
Do you always have to go to a grand jury before charging someone?
Felonies.
Just for felonies. Okay.
Accusations are misdemeanors. So misdemeanors, the Solicitor General gets to accuse it. So they look at the facts, look at the evidence, and they're like, all right, I think we got enough to accuse this. And then the Solicitor General does what's called an accusation. So it's written up, and then they send it down the process. It still has to go to a jury if the person decides not to plead guilty. But in my situation, I'm like, that now gives me the motive behind why this man would not, especially an African American man, would not want to take the charges regarding the death of an innocent black woman who's in her bed. And especially when it's a no-knock warrant and there was no need to not knock. You could have waited, catch him on the road, catch him when he's leaving the house, to make sure you protect everybody. So
we
don't give him a, you're out of order. Because he wants to be governor, and we hope he doesn't win.
Doesn't he have a family member that's like related to someone else in the in that?
I'm sure he does. I mean, usually when somebody goes into politics, it's somebody else that's already in there, and once they're in there, then you can influence other family members to actually get in there. But I think it was a political. We gave him a he's out of order.
Out of order.
That's it. We're not voting for him, and we're not telling anybody that we have friends or family in there to vote for him in Kentucky, because now we know why he didn't feel like doing his job as Attorney General.
I don't think he can win,
because he wanted to make sure that he didn't do anything to affect his chances of becoming governor. We know now your motive. I don't think he's
going to be able to win,
sir. All right. Sleeping in separate bedrooms. See how we transitioned that? We talking about being in bed, and now we talk about not being in bed.
Get out of the bed.
Sleeping in separate rooms is better for your relationship. All right, Diva, you've been married a while. You agree?
Sometimes, maybe. Not all the time, but sometimes. Because if you always sleeping in the other room, now it's like, who you talking to on the phone?
Why do you think he's on the phone? I said sleeping, not talking.
What you in that room by yourself? Like, I mean,
didn't
are
say
we
talking.
in the bed together and then I'm about to go to sleep? No, you go. That's just.
First of all, you should be putting your phone down before you go to bed. Okay? So why is he taking his phone to bed? And why you think he's on the phone while you would be sleeping in the next room?
Be on like Instagram or Facebook.
That's what you're not supposed to do. That's
I know,
what they
but
said.
that's
That's
what
why
they
you're
do,
so
though.
stressed out. That's why COVID got you crazy. That's why you can't get along and you
are
can't
they saying
function.
it is better?
That's what they're saying. They're saying it's better that you sleep in separate bedrooms.
These must be single people.
I'll clarify a little bit. They suggested that sleeping in separate bedrooms sometimes isn't the worst thing for your relationship. You shouldn't judge it as like
It's
a
bad. We
sign.
can't do that.
Yeah.
So you were right then, Diva, when you said sometimes.
Like last night, I slept on the couch.
Now you fell asleep on
Nah,
the couch and just
that's
didn't
exactly
get up.
what happened. It wasn't a decision.
No, I went to.
You were so tired when you got home from that 12-hour shift.
So, you know how my house is laid out. To the right is like just a little bit of like a sitting room. And there's no TV in there. I just sat there. I pulled up a little blanket and I put on my little TV show. And I
Yeah,
was knocked
that's what
out.
we said. It wasn't a choice to sleep
I woke up
in
and
a
went to
separate
the
room.
bed.
You fell asleep on the couch. That's different. They're saying making a choice when it's time to
Yeah.
go to bed to say, you know what?
If he
I think
always-
it's good. I think it's good if your spouse snores. I think it's good
For
if your
me,
spouse
my
snores,
husband-
so that you don't wake up and fight about, oh my God, I didn't get any sleep. I'm so exhausted. You snored all night, or interrupt her sleep or his sleep if
I
they
was
snore.
blessed with the fact that my daddy used to snore, so I'm so used to it, and my husband snores, so it's just like white noise.
What?
It's like, it's only bad if I'm sleeping.
Ma'am.
It don't bother me, but if I'm not sleeping, I'm trying to watch someone to be like, "Come on, now I can't hear."
See,
Turn
that's
over.
disrupting. That's disrupting his sleep.
He need to put on that mask so that sleep apnea kills.
That's the thing. I don't think that's bad. I think it's a good idea. Sleeping in separate bedrooms might help somebody out and keep your marriage intact, so you don't fight
Do you
about
sleep
that.
in separate bedrooms?
No, and I should. I really should, because you know what? I'm cold natured, and I'm cold, and I want it warm, and then he wants it hot, and he wants it cold, and I want it hot, and it's just.
Do you like for the outside to be cold, but you have a lot of blankets to be warm? You
no.
want the room to be hot?
Yeah.
Girl, what's wrong with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
How
I
can
don't-
you even breathe?
I don't
like
like
the room
cold.
to be cold, but I'm like
I don't like
snuggled
cold. I
in
was
like a
born in
blanket.
tropical weather, so I like it warm, nice and warm, balmy. But that's not going to work. So sleeping in separate bedrooms is not a problem. But let's talk about our 19-year-old law school graduate.
Yes, ma'am.
Kudos to my Texas law school graduate, Haley Taylor Schlitz. Haley is a graduate, you all. 2019. After getting accepted into non-law school, she'll be an attorney at law. Somebody's passed the bar.
Unlike that person I was getting into it with on.
I don't understand why you get into it with people on Facebook.
Talking about, I went to law school and got my JD. I said, oh, so you must not be an attorney. Who brags about that? What law are
Most
you
attorneys
practicing?
don't say JD.
Right. What law are you practicing?
He would say, I'm an attorney.
I passed in 96. I said, well, maybe. Because he said, I forgot more law than you know. I said, that might be true. But I said, well, maybe you need to ask your criminal defense friends about this question because you seem like you don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
gonna need you to stop fighting with
It's your
JD's
fault.
on your social media.
I got my bachelor's in psychology. You don't see me arguing with psychiatrists.
You have to be a psychiatrist to say I know more about psychiatry than you do.
Right.
I don't think the bachelor's in psychology is
Right.
going
It
to
don't
match
give
up.
me.
But let's talk about my girl, a strong, smart, beautiful black woman.
Y'all keep speaking it into existence.
It might happen. You got to stop saying
We
that.
gotta
Diva.
stop saying that.
Yeah. They love strong black
They
women.
love them.
They can't help it. They can't wait to marry a strong black woman that's educated and intelligent. I wonder what the ratio is on black single women that's educated.
Oh,
Everybody count
90%.
I don't think anybody's.
You know what? 90% of them are educated. It's that 10% that give us all a bad rap.
But Diva Court episode 3 is closing with a kudos to Haley.
Yes, Haley. Get it, girl.
We're gonna drink to Haley.
Pioneering.
Don't forget to look for our episodes each week.
Yes.
We want to shout out to, go ahead, producer.
Well, we have 2 shout outs. If you want to,
We have one shout out and a
one shout
sponsor.
out and a sponsor.
Thank you.
Would you like to?
You do the shout out, I do the sponsor.
Okay, so we'll
I have no clue what they talking about.
Which is always on Diva Court.
Right.
It's probably true.
That's exactly how you show up. What we doing here?
I just work here.
Hey, what we doing here?
What's going on?
What's this? Is this a mic? Because I definitely don't.
I don't use it.
There you go. There you go. You starting to hit them jokes again.
All right, we have a shout out to the Man in the Kitchen channel. Man is a dedicated fan of Diva Court.
All right, man in the
Awesome.
kitchen.
Man in the kitchen.
Does that mean he can cook?
Shout out.
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
Ooh. We need to invite the man in the kitchen to come cook.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's got his favorite recipes on his YouTube channel, and he's sharing cooking tips and secrets. So viewers, be sure to check out that channel.
Was that a dyslexic moment for you?
No, yours is dyslexic.
We need to bring somebody else up in here. They be trying to drag me together, but I'm gonna fight them.
I'm telling you, you need to bring your witnesses.
Let's talk about the
You don't
man
ever
in the
call your
kitchen.
witnesses.
She
What's
can't
up,
call no
Mr. Man in the
witnesses.
kitchen? I need to bring some
Man in the
witnesses.
kitchen. We're going to bring man in the kitchen in here.
Yes,
We're
man
going
in
to set
the
up a little set so he can cook us something and we can sample it.
Ooh, nice.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, no,
That'd be
he's got
nice.
a few things. He's got some special wings
What?
that he made, and then he has these jalapeno like cheddar biscuits.
What?
That sounds like with Red Lobster and like some Mexican restaurant had a baby. Baby's biscuit.
So no, I was checking out a few, and they look awesome.
What? All right, man in the kitchen. We're going to get you in Diva Court.
Yes.
That's what we need to do. And this episode is sponsored by Cutie Nails.
Hey, cutie.
Cutie Nails and Spa in Midtown is offering manicures,
Manicure.
pedicures, facials, and lashes. Enjoy a spa experience and let the team of cuties take care of you.
All right.
Cuties, Nails and Spa.
Hey, cutie.
And on that note, Diva Court 3 is
Yes.
signing off because we'll
Drink to
to that. Who always have more at the end?
I just be thirsty. I had to just
That's
start bringing some
an
water.
indictment on your spouse.
We got to drink to that.